Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Monday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, being part of my conversation with Conversations Live, the radio show's 800th guest of 2021, actor Philip Boyd. Enjoy today's program. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In national news, Biden vaccine mandates face first test with federal workers. President Joe Biden is pushing forward with a massive plan to require millions of private sector employees to get vaccinated by early next year, but first he has to make sure workers in his own federal government get the shot. About 4 million federal workers are to be vaccinated by November 22nd under the president's executive order. Some employees, like those at the White House, are nearly all vaccinated, but the rates are lower at other federal agencies, particularly those related to law enforcement and intelligence, according to the agencies and unions. And some resistance workers are digging in, filing lawsuits, and protesting what they say is unfair overreach by the White House. The upcoming deadline is the first test of Biden's push to compel people to get vaccinated. Beyond the federal worker rule, another mandate will take effect in January, aimed at around 84 million private sector workers, according to guidelines put out this past week. On Saturday, a federal appeals court in Louisiana temporarily halted the vaccine requirement for businesses with 100 or more workers. The administration says it is confident that the requirement will withstand legal challenges, in part because its safety rules preempt state laws. The president and the administration wouldn't have put these requirements in place if they didn't think that they were appropriate and necessary, the Surgeon General said on Sunday on ABC's This Week. And the administration is certainly prepared to defend them. If the mandates are a success, they could make the most serious dent in new coronavirus cases since the vaccine first became available, especially with the news this past week that children ages 5 through 11 can get the shot, making an additional 64 million people eligible. But with 2 weeks remaining until the federal worker deadline, some leaders of unions representing the employees say that convincing the unvaccinated to change their mind is increasingly challenging. Vaccines have a proven track record of safety backed by clinical trials and independent reviews showing them overwhelmingly effective at preventing serious illness and death from COVID-19. More than 222 million Americans have received at least one vaccine dose, and more than 193 million are fully vaccinated. More than half of the world population has also received the shot. In more national news, Dems in deadlock, House hands Biden infrastructure win. The House approved a $1 trillion package of road and other infrastructure projects late on Friday after Democrats resolved a months-long standoff between progressives and moderates, notching a victory for President Joe Biden and his party had become increasingly anxious to claim. The House passed the measure 228 to 206, prompting prolonged cheers from the relieved Democratic side of the chamber. 13 Republicans, mostly moderates, supported the legislation, while 6 of Democrats' farthest left members opposed it. Approval of the bill, which would create legions of jobs and improve broadband, water supplies, and other public works, whisked it to the desk of President Biden, whose approval ratings have dropped and whose nervous party got a cold shoulder from voters in this past week's off-year elections. Simply freeing up the infrastructure measure for final congressional approval was like a burst of adrenaline for Democrats. Yet despite the win, Democrats endured a setback when they postponed a vote on a second, even larger bill until later this month. In more national news, mourning starts as Houston officials probe concert deaths. Investigators Sunday worked to determine how 8 people died in a crush of fans at a Houston music festival as friends and loved ones mourned the victims, and a makeshift memorial of flowers and candles took shape at the site. Authorities plan to use videos, witness interviews, and a review of concert procedures to figure out what went wrong. Friday night during a performance by rapper Travis Scott, the tragedy unfolded when the crowd rushed the stage, squeezing people so tightly they couldn't breathe. Houston officials did not immediately release the names of the victims or the cause of death. In business news, average U.S. price of gas jumps by 5 cents over past 2 weeks. The average U.S. price of regular gasoline jumped by 5 cents over the past 2 weeks to a national average of $3.49. The price at the pump is $1.30 higher than a year ago. And finally, in entertainment news, Eternals, one of Marvel's most ambitious efforts to expand its superhero universe arrived in theaters with about $71 million in ticket sales over the weekend, according to studio estimates on Sunday. That made the top 5 movies over the weekend. Number 1, Eternals, with $71 million. Number 2, Dune, with $8 million. Number 3, No Time to Die, with $6 million. Number 4, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, with $5 million. And number 5, Runs Gone Wrong, with $4 million. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Allow hope to guide you. Hope can always guide you through all of life's challenges. Always devote a portion of your daily mental energy toward envisioning the future your efforts are designed to deliver. As you concentrate on your future success with a hopeful attitude, you become encouraged to face any challenges at hand. Any person can overcome any form of adversity when you face these life challenges with hope in your heart. This soul-deep optimism motivates you to progress forward. This positive outlook is a source of strength and energy, enabling you to concentrate on a successful future. As you imagine the sweet taste of victory, your daily difficulties no longer seem overwhelming as you have hope guiding you. Today, allow hope to fuel your ambitions as you see any setback as a new way to move forward. As you go about, enjoy the day.
Actor Philip Boyd is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Recently, Conversations Live, the radio show, celebrated its 800th guest of 2021, actor Philip Boyd. He joined me to talk about the year that's been 2021 and his acting career. Here's a bit of our conversation.
You about that. I mean, we've been able to see you in new projects, of course. I know you have other things that you're working on. What has this year been like for you, Philip, to continue to see all the hard work you put out there paying off for you?
It's been a crazy ride, especially with all the COVID protocols going on with the movie sets and everything that I've been fortunate to be a part of. It's been pretty crazy. I decided that I was going to try to maybe have a home base in Atlanta, and so I started moving some stuff back here in Atlanta in January of earlier this year, right? And then I got booked on a couple of movies back in Los Angeles, so I had to stay out there. But I had shipped everything back, so I was sleeping on an air mattress for a little while. I mean, the life of an actor, right?
Right.
And so, it's just been crazy. Then I went back to Atlanta again, and I got booked on something in San Diego and something in Las Vegas and then in Los Angeles. And so I finally made my way back to Atlanta. I did a small little part in a movie with Dennis Quaid here recently, and I was actually in Hattiesburg, Mississippi recently.
Oh, wow.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News, but we'll have to get on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.